Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 9 in our 20 from 1989 series, and this is one of those very, very rare RPGs turned into arcade games. This is a classic by Taito, and this is called Cadash, and this came in two different cabinets. There was one that allowed 2 players simultaneous play, and one that allowed 4 players simultaneous play, and it was actually like 2 cabinets together. So you could have 3 other friends playing with you simultaneously on 1 or 2 monitors. And this here is the Mage, and he's going up against a boss. And there are some characters that can do different spells, and they can cycle through the different spells. This game was very cool for its time. It has decent graphics. The thing that's my favorite about this is the music. Some of the tunes are just they don't want to get out of your head. This was very, very fun. This had a Sega Genesis port that I remember playing, and it was pretty good. The colors were a little darker. I remember seeing this in arcades for sure. See, there's the 4-player simultaneous play. Very fun game. The layout of the stages was kind of dull at times, but I still really enjoyed this game. There's a high score list for the highest amount of experience, the highest amount of gold, or the highest level that players have reached, and therefore each different character that you can choose. There is the fighter that's like a barbarian, there's a mage that's like a wizard, there's a priest, and it's a woman, and then there's a ninja. And a lot of players seem to prefer the ninja. The ninja is very quick. They can't use magic, but they can get multi-directional shurikens. I'm going to use the fighter. I mean, he's not fast, but he's very strong and very durable. He cannot use magic. And you get to name your character right off the bat with 3 initials. And so I'm just going to name him Ruz. How well you came, Ruz. So you start off in front of the king. And there's this evil guy named Barog. His name is actually supposed to be Balrog, I guess, and it got lost in translation from Japanese to English. You start off with a couple treasures. There will be treasure chests here and there in the game, and we get gold, and we get a medicinal herb that will replenish your energy when you run out. And you see at the top left, anytime you don't move for a few seconds, you will see your gold, your experience level, and how much longer you have to get to your next experience level and other things. And then at the bottom left is your life bar and your life digits. You have a timer that begins right when you start your game, and it's 7 minutes. If you run out of time, then this skull creature will harass you. And it'll start taking damage off of you. Or incurring damage. Now we're starting to get our fights here. We have these pig monsters. And they each drop, most of them drop bags of gold. And you'll be able to purchase weapon upgrades and armor upgrades. And as you progress in the game, you will actually see these armor upgrades. You will see, like, the helmet on your character. Their tunic might be a different color. Their sword might be a little bit bigger. Stuff like that. There are some cool items to get in this game from the shops. Early on, see how quickly I went up a level. Of course, it takes a lot longer later on in the game. but it was very, very rare to see an RPG in the arcades. The only other one I can think of is, I think was it Wonder Boy and Monster Lair? But yeah, I think I remember seeing both the two-player cabinet, which is one screen, and there's two sets of controls, one for each player. And I think I've also seen the four-player simultaneous play screen, which was basically like two cabinets put together with two monitors and four sets of control panels. I hate the bats. The bats, they do have a bobbing up and down motion that if you pay attention to, you can avoid. But I've always hated bats in video games. Bats and Medusa heads. There is a graveyard section later on in this game that looks straight up ripped off of Castlevania. I really like the music in this game. It's just really well done and really sets the mood. I remember kind of being creeped out by those giant eyeballs, but you need to climb the ropes to avoid getting hit by them. Definitely jump up once before the spider can hit you with the web, because it will continue to cause damage a little bit and then disappear. You gotta watch out for these giant rocks being spit out by the volcanoes in the background. Stupid bats. Fortunately, you don't have to deal with them very much in this game, and you can talk to people that you're walking in front of. And we have a first boss. It's called the Black Pudding. It's very easy. Just stay in the middle and then avoid the bouncing balls of black pudding, and then continue to hit the boss, and he'll be defeated rather easily. And the bosses will give you a lot of bags of gold. Can't go out this way. There will be kind of missions throughout the game, and once you've been able to complete a mission, then the timer will reset. We're still not completely completed with the mission. We need to get out of here. If you have a little bit of extra time, maybe you can kind of farm a little bit for extra experience levels, but not much. The timer really isn't terribly forgiving. And like I said, if you run out of time, a skull will appear and it'll keep hitting you and causing damage. There will be some opportunities, I don't remember how many, to buy yourself more time at a shop. See, now my timer has gone way back up. Buying yourself more time really only gets you, I think, 1 minute of extra time. So you really can't afford to dawdle much in this game at all. Just like in typical RPG fashion, you can buy more tools, weapons, etc. You can get one for yourself, but make sure that it's one that you can carry. See, it'll say this weapon can only be carried by this character or that character. So if you're using the fighter like I am, make sure that it says this can be carried only by the fighter. And you can talk to the various townsfolk like in typical RPGs. Even a door that doesn't have a sign on it, you can press up and go in, and you can talk to people. And this old lady will tell you that there was this young girl that was living in her house, and she got taken away to be used as a sacrifice to the Kraken. Not the Seattle Kraken, the hockey team. You can also buy yourself more medicines. And again, the medicinal herb will give you some energy back if you run out. And then there's also an antidote, because some enemies can sting you or poison you, and the antidote will instantly heal you if they do, if you have it. And again, you can also buy yourself more time back, but only like a minute at a time. And later on, it'll cost a lot more. Going into the water at this point will hurt you. If you've got enough energy, you can make it through that little area of water below that we passed by, and go out the other side and get yourself a fire sword. But I don't think it's worth it. See that there's a treasure chest below. I think I farmed a little bit here too, but you can't really afford to do that much. Whoops. These guys throwing bones will give you a lot of experience at this point in the game. You need to have a little bit of distance so that they don't, or you need to be up close, excuse me, so that their bones won't hit you. So you just get right up in their mug and slash them. Yeah, the frogs don't give you much experience. See, it's hard to hit them if you're on a hill or on an incline or decline, because it's hard to hit them from there. Now, something that we didn't see is that you can jump and stab downwards. You can also do sort of an overhead swing by pushing up and slash when you're just standing. And that can be useful later in the game. I remember playing the Genesis port quite a bit, and it's pretty good, but you can't play 4-player simultaneous play, and the colors are a little bit darker. Yeah, I think I first saw this at a nickel arcade. Like I said, yeah, you can just pause for a couple seconds and you'll see the information window appear at the top left, like how many more experience points you've got until you until you go to your next level. And I think there's like a maximum of 30 levels. I can't remember for sure. I really ought to get moving, and I didn't. So I think I died after I completed this mission because I just didn't have enough time, and the skull appeared and kept hurting me over and over and over again. It's a good idea to buy a whole bunch of medicinal herbs. Probably about somewhere between 7 to 10 maybe. They're cheap. And sometimes you get them out of the treasure chests. I really should keep moving. Yeah, there's these trees that appear out of the ground, or dryads maybe, and you need to jump, maybe slash them once or twice and then jump, because they're going to shoot some sort of projectile at you. And you have to watch out for these rock hands. You cannot destroy them. If you try to slash an enemy, and there's that treasure chest we saw, if you try to slash an enemy that can't be killed, for some reason it'll say something like your weapon has malfunctioned or something. That's not exactly right. Those slimes don't do anything special. They're not poisonous or anything, I don't think. Crap. My jump timing wasn't very good. And there we go. Why did I hesitate? Damn it. There we go. Well, I didn't have much room to jump there. Yeah, I'm running low on time. Gotta find that stupid Kraken. The girl... Oops, this is the wrong place. You will go there a little bit later. Yeah, I went back in there. Whoops, didn't need to do that. Unfortunately, the trees can't shoot you from up there. Here's the Kraken. When you slash its arms, it'll tuck them in and then swing them around. So you don't want to, whoops. So you don't want to stay in the middle there forever, even though it's a good, convenient place to slash his arms from. You'll have to destroy one arm at a time. So even though my energy is just at 8, I have a whole bunch of medicinal herbs that'll restore 10 points every time. And there I used one, and I took off one of his arms. Damn it. Even if you just miss his arm when you swing at it, he'll tuck it back in and then swing it around, so you need to be clear of where he's swinging it around from. Crap, I had to use another herb. And I killed him. Now you have to press up and slash, I think, and then you'll, when standing under her, and you'll free her. So now you have to follow her to that place that I was before, but I couldn't go to the right any further. And you still can't, but you'll see this girl's secret. And she is a mermaid. She will jump into the water. It just sucks that the timer can be kind of strict and you don't get a farm very much for experience points, because you can miss out on this dialogue by having to wail on the button because you're like, damn it, I'm running out of time. So now you have the scales of the mermaid, and I'm really running out of frickin' time. I won't be able to get far enough in this mission to avoid that stupid skull harassing me. And he really hurts. He hits you like 10 points each time. Damn it. Well, that's my game. If I was able to progress further in this mission, excuse me, in this mission enough, I would have had my timer restored, but oh well. Game over. We will see snippets of the rest of the missions in this game. And there's basically like 6 missions. You want to destroy the black pudding, free the mermaid girl, and later on you go to a gnome village and get the worm's thread. Although you only really use it in one place, which is kind of stupid. And you can get a pendant from a woman in town and go to a graveyard, and then you place it in the grave to progress in the game. And then there's a big castle. Now we're not very much further from where I died, and you have these annoying yellow jackets that can sting you and cause you or give you poison, and that's where an antidote would be nice. And these statues swing these long maces here, and you have to time your jump or duck at the right point. Ouch. I put on invincibility, I think, at this point, or somewhere. Not yet, I guess. But I put on infinite time. See, now that I have the scales of the mermaid, I can go underwater here and not get hurt. There's no oxygen meter or anything. And here is the gnome village, and see, these are short people. But you cannot go into any of the shops or houses in the gnome village until you become a gnome, and there will be a certain flower that you need to collect, and it'll make you shrink down. If you continue west of this village, you can get lost. I mean, the forest is like endless. So yeah, we need to find that flower. And here is a cliff where you need to get the silk from a boss called like Giant Worm or something, and then you'll be able to use it as a rope to get up that upper precipice. These rock guys take a lot of damage, and there's this spider that you need to jump over their web they shoot out before you kill them. And those rock guys, if you try to ignore them, they'll run up. They'll run up after you. There is the silk worm, or the worm that gives you the silk. I put on invincibility here, but you need to jump over his body when it rolls after you. And you need to be cognizant of where it's going to stop. But he goes down pretty easily. And now that I have the silk, I can throw a line up that wall right here. But this is like really the only place where you can do it, I think it was, which is kind of stupid. And there will be other cliff walls or high walls that you can't use it on, which is dumb. More bees. And then there's these harpies and these plants that barf goo at you. Lovely. But like I said, there is eventually a plant that you need to collect, and it will turn you into a gnome, and you will be able to go into the village. These are guys that can't be killed. There are all sorts of little helpful items that you can get from the treasure chests. Some of them you need to collect or you can't beat the game. And we'll look at one of those later on. You have to get on these moving platforms. You need to get at the way edge of that platform to be able to jump across. There's I guess a prisoner that never got rescued and he died. Excuse me. And this is where that plant is, that flower. But we need to go back to the other side, I think. Oh, maybe not. When you go straight down the cave, there's a pedant. Well, at any rate, the flower effect turned me into a gnome, and now I can go into the shops and talk to people and stuff. Well, actually, you could talk to people when you were regular-sized. When you leave the village, you will turn back to your regular size. Sword of Speed is very nice to have. That makes you faster. And here is a silver key that you must get a hold of, or that you must purchase, and it'll let you go through silver doors. Later on, there is a gold key that you will need to get, and that will allow you to go through gold doors. And there I I turned back to normal. See, I'm much faster than I used to be with this sort of speed, or whatever it was called. And then I turned back to small. Yeah, you can just... It would be nice to have all the time in the world to talk to every single person in this game, but timer is a little strict. It isn't right now because I put on the infinite time cheat. And using that portal brought me out to the graveyard area. Here you can't progress until you get a pendant from a gal in one of the villages, and then place it at a grave site right there. And there's a dog I tried to talk to. See, these guys come right out of Haunted Castle by Konami, which was an arcade Castlevania game. They look very, very similar. I think that lightning can hurt you, so you have to realize where it strikes and avoid there. And then there's a whole bunch of different areas you can go. The game gets labyrinthine by this point, and there are just multiple places you can go, and you can kind of get lost. See, I should be able to throw my worm silk up there, but it won't let you do that. There's these annoying Grim Reapers. This guy can't hurt you, he just says, get out of my way. Once you get that pendant, you can actually talk to the animals, to the dogs. And there's a false wall here, and you can go through the fire and collect the Amulet of Dragon. And I honestly don't know what that does. I don't know what all the things in this game do. They all have some sort of purpose, but you don't have to get all of them. Very good mood-setting music in this game. There was a treasure up there. I'm not sure what's in there. Yeah, these griffins, or whatever they are, will turn around if you jump over them and come back after you. Yeah, I think this is some of Taito's best musical work. And then way over here you gotta watch out for these waves of fire. And you need to basically go to the bottom left direction. Might have to go around some blocks and then go out this way and cross these moving platforms over the fire. You won't instantly die if you fall in the fire, but you certainly will be hurt. Let's see if we can get some weapon upgrades, or armor upgrades, and you can also get a shield. And again, there will be designations for certain characters. See, I'm wearing the helmet. You can actually see it. And I'm wearing the shield, too. Yeah, look for the designation to say this can only be carried by the fighter, or the mage, or the priest, or the ninja. And the priest is a woman, and she has great range with her flail. And the ninja can throw shurikens, and when he gets upgrades to be able to throw them in all sorts of directions, that's very nice. And the priest can throw her flail upwards, upwards at an angle. Very, very nice range. Same with the ninja, he can throw his stars upwards at an angle or straight up. Very useful against enemies that are like high up or on the ceiling, like the black pudding. You will face some. There's me placing the pendant at the gravesite, and that is the gal that gave it to you. That's her husband that died. And there's like a flute that you need to buy, or not buy, get from a boss. And once you get that flute, you can progress towards the end here, where there was a dead end of fire. And it will make a bridge go across that fire. There I'm talking to that dog. I've always thought it would be kind of cool to be able to converse with animals. I mean, you can to some degree. I lost my dog in recent weeks. Even though I do miss her, the place is admittedly a whole lot cleaner without her. And this guy you talk to over here will turn into a fire elemental. You have to watch out for his fireballs flying around. Ah! Bandicam has its problems, so sometimes it makes the gameplay a little stiff. And there is the flute, the magic flute. I can't jump into that fire, thank goodness. But you need to go back up this way, past the spikes that stick out from the wall. And you need to go through the graveyard here again. And you will automatically play the flute once you get to the edge where the fire was. And then it'll make a bridge fall down. I think 60,000 is the maximum amount of gold you can get in the game. Yeah. And I think, level 30, I think, is the highest experience level you can reach. I think you just gotta keep going straight past this house. There we are. Played the magic flute, and there the bridge appears. Now we are going to the last part in the whole game, which is the castle. And if you thought that the earlier areas were labyrinthine, they got nothing on this castle. There are a million different rooms you can go to, a million different doors to take. We will briefly look at a very crude map that I made at the end of this video to show where everything leads to. There is a gold door, and you will need a gold key. There will be one shop in this game, and you can get that gold key right there. You'll see stairs in these doorways, and that means you can go upwards, and we're just going to see the different paths that you can go, and some of the different enemies that you will come across, and there's a whole bunch of treasures that you can get there. Like I said, I don't know what all the treasures do in the game. There was a sand clock. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, you can slash these guys from below, but don't try to get them from directly below them, or you hit your head on the ceiling and you can't swing upward as high as you'd like. There's a few flying dragons there. There's some repeat bosses in this game, and note that the maces will swing right directly at you, so you need to get out of the way instead of just in a circle. But we're just looking at the various areas in the game, and here is a new version of the black pudding, more like a raspberry pudding. They don't give you anything special for defeating them this time. They don't give you a whole bunch of gold or anything. And now this area, there is the princess of the king. And she's talking like she's sad that her dad has died. But you tell her that you've seen her dad, and that's not her dad. That's an imposter. That is actually the final boss. And his name is, they say it's Barog, but it's supposed to be Balrog. No relation to Balrog from Street Fighter 2, which came out later. It looks like you can go to the right from here, but you cannot. The game will not let you. So you're stuck having to go left once you climb down that ivy. And there is the shop. And that is the gold key. I can't reach it from here, even with my worm silk, which is stupid. But you can get the best equipment in the game. The best weapon, armor, shield, whatever. So we're going to armor up, and we're going to see me wearing the gold equipment. Even though I opened that treasure chest, the item that was in it that I need, it won't disappear. You'll have to find another way to go around to get it. But with the gold key, you can go through that door from the very beginning. We saw that earlier, and note that there are eyeballs trying to chase me, but I'm too fast for them. Yeah, once you get the speed up sword, then you are going to be faster from that point on in the game. And now I can take all these rooms upwards towards the final room where we fight Baharog. I wish there were jump shoes in this game, so you could just jump up to the higher areas. Hey, there's the silkworm again. Or whatever they called him, giant worm. But yeah, you need to jump over him multiple times and remember where he lands and then extends, because you don't want to land right on his body. And there'll be spears sticking out of the walls sometimes. Here he is. Pshaw, you have finally arrived all the way here. There's some English in this game. This guy doesn't look very threatening, but he turns into a dragon. You have to bring him down from here. Watch out for his lightning. When he stops, he's going to fire it, so get out of the way. And now he starts turning into a dragon. He does cause pretty... Oh, stop it, Bandicam. He does cause pretty heavy damage. So just don't run into him like crazy. Stay out of the way of his fire. And he just flew off, so trust me, he's not dead. That's not the ending. So you gotta go back to the kingdom at the beginning of the game. And these injured soldiers are like, don't be assured of victory. He's still alive. The king is, alas. Yeah, the king is actually dead. You will see what looks like the king eventually once you go the right way. And it turns out that it is Barog in disguise. There's some goofy English in this game, and we'll see some more of it at the end. I don't remember if they corrected some of the English in the Genesis port. Something terrible has happened. While you've been chasing after Barog, he has come to attack this kingdom. As you can see, the palace has been completely destroyed, and I too have received this wound. And his daughter appears. Liar! This is not my father. He's not wearing the chain my father always had around his neck. If you aren't fooled, then there isn't a way. What? I am the king of devil, Barog. And now he is a dragon again. Just try to avoid his body landing on you, and now you have to watch out for his tail swiping at you. But you need to get in close enough to be able to avoid his fire. And I think he shoots other projectiles as well. Yeah, he'll try to jump at you, so watch out. I think if he lands on you and his tail lands on you when he's jumping, the tail won't hurt you. I will miss you very much. I would like to follow after you, but I have a duty to rebuild this country. If you come by Dear Czar again, please promise you will stop by. Yeah. May God bless you. And you start walking away, and then she says, "Hi!" It's like, shouldn't you be saying goodbye? Thank you for the important thing. What? Okay. Well, that was Cadash, released by Taito in 1989. Very fun RPG game by Taito. Very rare RPG game for the arcades. But terrific music. I just love it. This was a lot of fun back in the day. Genesis port. There were other ports, but characters that address you directly will address you by the name that you put in at the beginning of the game. The 3-letter name. It's too bad it's only 3 letters, but still a pretty good game. Well, that is Cadash, and I think that's how it's pronounced. Maybe it's Cadash. Maybe it's Cadash. I have no idea for sure. That was what I'm going to call Cadash by Taito in 1989. We are going to take a brief look at the other characters. We were watching me play with the fighter. And there's me on the high score list. And we're going to select the, I think this was, yeah, the priest and the ninja. We really saw the other characters in the attract mode at the very beginning of this video, playing 4-player simultaneous play, so we're just going to see 2-player simultaneous play. I made goofy names because I had both controllers mapped for player 1 and player 2, so I couldn't really choose the letter select very well. But yeah, they can both the ninja and the priest can fire upwards or upwards at an angle, and when they jump they can fire downwards. Very nice to have that flexible controls. And note that the ninja is the quickest character. And having projectiles or a long-reaching weapon is very nice. The priest can also, when you hold down the attack button, you can select a healing potion. And here's us fighting the black pudding. I'm actually not entirely sure what a real black pudding is. And here's the barbarian and the mage. And the mage can hold down the attack button, and when you learn more spells, and you'll learn more spells as you gain experience, then you'll have more spells to switch between as you hold down the fire button. And when you let go, you'll use one of those projectiles. And here is a look at that map. Briefly, I mean, pause the video if you want to get a better understanding of where all the rooms lead to. but that was Cadash, created by Taito in 1989, and that was game number 9 in our 20 from 1989 series. Well, this is Crazy Clemrace, and thanks for watching Cadash by Taito. This was game number 9 in our 20 from 1989 series, and I hope you join me soon with game number 8. Bye-bye, folks.